Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, General McDougall, for your service, for your hard work here. So the U.S. military is one of the largest consumers of fuel, and Transcom's operations in particular are highly fuel dependent. According to the U.S. Information Administration, the price of crude oil has been on the rise for more than 2 years now. So let me ask, General, what impact does the rising price of fuel have on Transcom's budget?
You know, obviously, we're amongst the large consumers of fuel. We are the largest, I believe, in the Department of Defense. So every time the price of fuel goes up, that increases the amount of money we must spend to do our operation.
Right, and I take it it's large enough that it has a real impact on your budget. That's what I'm really asking.
It does. I'm also blessed enough to have a budget that's a little different than everybody else's. However, the services budgets are the ones that are more directly impacted.
Okay. So in your prepared testimony, you discussed the current stress on our logistics fleet, both air and sea. DoD has been working for years on efforts to reduce fuel consumption and incorporate alternative fuels. In my home state of Massachusetts, for example, the Army scientists at the Natick Laboratory have been experimenting with new, more energy-efficient shelters and base camps with a goal of reducing fuel demand for the deployed Army by about 25%. Would a 25% reduction in fuel consumption by our deployed forces help mitigate some of the stress on your command and the Defense Logistics Agency?
Yes, Senator, it would.
So that would be a helpful direction. Good. Because, you know, we know that transporting fuel to our forward deployed forces in combat zones is expensive and dangerous, even when we have full control of the skies and the shipping lanes. But as Senator Inhofe said earlier, that's not guaranteed in the future. The new defense strategy says that DoD must be prepared to fight a high-end adversary. That guidance applies not only to the tip of the spear, but also to your ability to supply the logistics chain our deployed service members rely on over time. So let me ask this one, General. Would it be challenging for Transcom and the Defense Logistics Agency to refuel assets and meet deployed energy needs in an environment where we didn't have air or sea supremacy?
Everything gets more challenged when we don't have domain dominance. That's air, land, sea, and cyber and space.
Yeah. You know, thank you. Reducing use of our fuel and exploring renewable alternatives isn't just about the environment. It improves mission effectiveness, and it saves money that we can use to reinvest in the kinds of capabilities that you need. And in a future combat situation like the ones the defense strategy describes, it's going to be an operational necessity. I think we need to get ahead of this now while we can. If we wait until our resupply lines are under threat, it's going to be too late. So I appreciate your good work in this area, General. Thank you.
Senator, if I can just add one
Please.
more thing. The fact that our cyber is such a warfighting domain now, we're under threat right now.
Fair point. So all the more about the urgency of this moment, and we've got to make these changes. Thank you. Thank you, General. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.